unrelated to everything we've been saying.
Good.
Just to make it sound like normal conversation or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
this sounds really normal. Okay.
Just act normally, man.
Okay. For the longest time, I didn't know, like, when I was, like, 4... Not 4. It's too early. 12. Like, just young. I'm sorry. Just nondescript young.
I'm a young man.
I heard the phrase, you reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I knew, like, right when I heard it, someone explained to me what it meant. It's just like, you gain what you know, put into something. It's like, oh, that makes sense, but what the fuck does reap what you sow mean? And
what is
I was
reaping,
like...
what is sowing?
Yeah, but I finally figured out, like, a year ago what it meant because I learned separately...
Are you serious?
No, I learned separately what each word comes from.
Oh.
Reap is like the Grim Reaper has a giant reap. That's what they used to cut crops with.
It's a scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
They would call it a reap?
It's
I
a
remember
reaper.
seeing someone use a scythe.
Oh, a reaper?
It's literally a reaper.
To reap.
To reap is to cut your crops.
But they called it a reaper.
I remember seeing someone with a scythe cutting down really tall weeds to clear like a field.
So you're getting it now,
and I
too.
thought it was so
interesting.
I thought it was so cool to like just watch them whip that sucker around. Yeah.
I
still never used one.
It's reap what you sow because you're cutting your crops into sow crops.
I'm more blown away that that's what Grim Reaper means.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the reaper is literally just a crop.
He's literally a reaper.
Yeah.
He's going to cut down your crop.
But I mean, he's going to kill
what
you.
you sowed.
Yeah, and those things could totally kill you. But
one hundy.
Yeah.
But really, they're not a very practical one.
They're not practical.
No, but if you're like a...
Give me a Morning Star.
Yeah. Nunchucka.
Quarter stave.
Yeah. Nice throwing. You said throwing star. Did you say throwing star?
No,
I said
Morning Star.
Oh,
Morning Star
like
is the ball
like a
and
mace.
chain. Yeah.
But a throwing star, you got that. First of all, you got your projectiles, and then you have your Morning Star for close combat.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Morning throwing star. Whatever. Well, it's just the fact that
it's a Morning Star that like when you throw it, like kind of like a highlight.
Oh,
it
wow.
Highlight like tosses out.
Holy shit. Like a cannonball.
A throwing star.
Yeah.
Like more like a catapult. You know, like a flimsy. But that would go really bad and just like hit you.
Yeah, that could probably be very heavy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're like really strong.
In this scenario, you're like the
what about
strongest man on
Okay, so to explain the rest of it, reaping is obviously the cutting of the crops.
Sowing.
But sowing, if you've ever heard sowing your crops, sowing is when you have a big sort of like canvas and you have like a handful of seeds and you're tossing them down the lines of your plowed field.
Yeah.
That's called sowing crops. So to reap what you sow means to gather what you plant.
I think we already got that.
I knew what it meant.
I'm saying I knew what it meant. I'm just saying to reap and to sow.
But where does sow come from?
Oh, I don't know where it comes from. It's just that's what it's called officially.
You pop them in the ground. It's just like putting a needle.
No, I know what the acronym is, but I wonder like where
that word. Yeah. It must. I don't know the specific
it's like
etymology.
An ancient word,
but
sow crops.
Yeah.
So what?
To sow what? Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those like things that I get the meaning. It's just the words themselves were just completely unattached to anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just like say it and you don't really know.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had horrible speech impediments, and I often would understand.
What a horrible thing to call it too. An impediment, if you have one, it's like a horrible. Like you're making fun of yourself because you can't even say impediment.
The first phrase that get you to
it's
say...
a horrible thing to call an impediment.
That's the first phrase you really practice on, speech impediment.
Impediment, lisp.
Yeah.
Horrible, like you're playing you know what would be funny if we called this thing where they can't pronounce the S, we'll put an S right in the middle. An impediment, we'll make it a really hard word.
A longer word with multiple consonants.
Interesting.
Anyway, it was probably invented by the people that don't have them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Yeah.
Sorry.
The scholars.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You had a speech impediment when you were a kid, and
I would hear a word and I would not understand it correctly, and I would repeat it the way I understood it, and it was like this weird filter in my brain, and made it very difficult for me to talk to people.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's called dyslexia. Right?
No, that's like written words. This is
not
all
necessarily.
vocal to
I
me.
think there's like
it's
the same mechanism.
Well, it's called something else. Sure.
Fine, audio dyslexia, bitch. Call it that.
Yeah, but what are you talking about though? Did you heard words and their meanings?
Well, a good example is there's an infomercial for a toy called Better Blocks.
Okay.
As in they were better than Legos because they could like bend and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was so young, I wanted this thing, and I was like, Mom and Dad, I need these Beto blocks.
You just heard things and didn't understand
and I
what
totally
it was.
thought I was saying it correctly because I thought that the person in the infomercial was saying Beto blocks.
Because you just heard it wrong.
Yeah, and so that's a good example because it took my parents a while to figure out.
Well,
Better blocks.
Oh, you're just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had that a little bit. Like I used to think the Civil War for the longest time was called the Silver War.
Silver War.
I would say it like
silverware.
that because sometimes people would say it quick enough for me to just hear silver, and I kept saying Silver War. Yeah. And then in school I learned, this wasn't a Silver War. Interesting. What was it about?
I think I had the same thing with
mean?
like the World War.
World War?
I thought it was like I think it was called like the Ward War or something. Like when I was
the Word War. That'd be cool.
First of all, also a horrible thing to say. World War.
World War.
It's like we really got to try.
We didn't name our world events very well.
Yeah, isn't every fucking
18th century?
Pretty much every war involves the world or a lot of it.
No, but it's just not very.
It could be between two nations.
Yeah,
World War was
that's true.
Continents. Multiple continents.
That's true. You're right. As soon as I was saying it,
like
I was
Civil War, it's like a Civil War is a generic term, and we're just like we're gonna put the in front of it.
Yeah,
and even our country.
Yeah,
we are the United States. Every other country that are states that are united.
Think about how many moons there are, and then we're just like
the moon. It has a name though. It's like
Luna.
It's named after like.
It's got different names in different cultures.
But like I thought there was a scientific name for a specific moon. Earth's moon has a name. Everything has a name. It's science because we like to categorize things because we're humans.
But scientists also.
I feel like it has something to do with a wolf. Latin. Is it maybe
Luna.
wolf is Luna? What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
There's a moon.
Wait, in Latin, Luna means wolf?
There's something I feel maybe I'm just talking out of my
lupus
ass.
means
lupus.
Wolf.
Lupus.
Yeah. That's
like Professor Lupus. Lupin, sorry.
Duh.
Professor Lupin.
Lupin is like a fox or something like that. Lupus.
Lupus.
Yeah, it's a fox.
That sounds like a great band.
And it has
Lupus. You know what a very unfortunate name is?
Has a disease.
Reince Priebus.
That's what?
Reince Priebus.
That's a person's name?
That's a senator.
Oh.
Vote
Priebus.
He's a huge douchebag, but it's his name. I never get tired of saying it.
It sounds like a
Reince
Steve Brule mispronunciation of someoun's name.
It's like REINCE, I think. And then Priebus, PREIBUS. It's always like you'll never feel comfortable saying it right.
Both of those names are ugly.
Yeah.
And putting them together
Reince
Priebus. You just get caught up.
But did you find the name of the moon?
Yeah, I always see his moon. I'm sorry.
Moon. That's a great movie.
Scientists don't like.
I love Moon.
Moon's good.
I love the moon.
Moon's good.
Oh.
I only saw the end of it though, so I kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
What
you
the hell?
fuck.
You fucking asshole.
No, my fucking roommate was watching it, and he
says... So you go, I don't want to watch this.
No, I didn't know what it was.
Oh.
Like, I didn't know.
No, I get it.
I just didn't know what it was.
And you're like,
now it's like, you can't even watch it now.
No, just watch it.
I just know the end.
It's great. It's still good.
It's still good.
You guys ever seen
his name?
Source Code?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, yeah.
Source Code? With Jake Gyllenhaal and...
No, I haven't.
Is that about the train?
Is that also...
Yeah, but it's directed by the same guy that did...
Moon.
Yeah, Moon. That's really good. And then he did World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah. What's a passion project from the internet, the interview that I heard, but apparently it's trash.
No, of course it's
not
trash.
Unsurprisingly.
Well, his dad died while he was making it.
I think he was like, you know what? I need...
You're
That's why it sucked, probably.
No, I mean,
I think it was going to suck anyway.
His head was off.
Yeah.
It's probably going to suck anyway.
And honestly, if you look at Dune, like David Lynch, we know he's a great director.
Yeah.
But Dune had too many fingers in that pot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it's a similar thing with the Warcraft movie.
There's so many...
If Duncan Jones had total creative control, he could make a good Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they make movies like that based on, like
Nothing.
Dungeons and Dragons and World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And
I watched that. Did I tell you?
I don't, just because the world is so expansive and it can be literally anything you want it to be.
And it's so ridiculous. Like, how could you watch a movie where there's one side who are human-shaped like us, and then there's another side that are 3 times bigger and like 100 times heavier, and we're fighting them and somehow equals.
Well, you gotta suspend your disbelief for that.
Well, yeah,
maybe
there's way more
so
humans.
difficult though. No, the way we're being presented it though, they're running up to them and like slashing them.
Lord of the Rings, giant trees, and fucking.
But they own them. It's like it's clear that they're so much better than who they're fighting.
I know what you mean.
You know.
But I'm just saying, like,
humans have magic too.
Yeah, magic and intelligence.
It's
usually if things are big, they're usually dumb.
Yeah,
but that's not what we're presented.
I would believe it. Neanderthals were actually smarter than
us.
Yeah.
Neanderthals were?
Yeah.
That can't be right.
No, we were just better at adapting.
Wait.
Yeah.
How?
Think about how we spread across the entire planet.
How are they smarter, but we're better at adapting?
I think smarter is probably...
bigger things often require more resources.
Right.
And they were bigger. They probably just needed more food and died out partly because of that.
Maybe they couldn't go where we could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
They couldn't charge their phone anymore.
Yeah, they didn't know which way was up.
Yeah, because they didn't have the app, the Rock app. I don't know, dude. I started this bit and why am I even making this joke? It's like a really bad joke.
You could have just stopped.
I'm just imagining like a Far Side, a really bad B-side of a Far Side joke.
I pictured an app that is called "Which Way Is Up" and it just has an.
It's like it's
Which way is up?
Which way is up? It's literally just it's up, dude. Like it says, it's up. I don't know why you have this up. Dude, if you don't know up,
the arrow should actually be stationary, and it's 3-dimensional and points straight out of the screen. So it's not even correct. It's not even right. If you're laying on your back, it's wrong.
It's the Hair Club
movie.
It's just one page. Hair Club movies. We watch the movies because it's Hair Club movies.
Welcome to the Hair Club.
Movie Club podcast, where we review some of our favorite movies. My name's Andrew.
And some of our least favorite movies. My name's Drew.
That's true.
My name is Michael.
We don't have the choice. 2 of us don't have a choice in this.
This
each week
was my choice. I picked
a great choice.
The Jerk.
The Jerk. Good movie.
Good.
I liked it. I love it.
I was actually, when I watched it, I wasn't sure what you guys would think. Did you like it?
Well, I mean, this has been a movie that's been my... a movie that my mom and dad and my whole family have quoted my whole life. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And but I mean, especially seeing it for the first time. Did you see it for the first time?
Well,
this time,
here's the
Andrew?
thing. I've seen the end for the first time. Always saw the entire movie up until when he's in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
I've like 5 different times.
And you just turn it off because too depressing.
Well, no.
It's gonna only get worse.
No. It's just one of those things where you always find yourself doing something else, or you start watching
it on TV all
or
the time,
you leave the bar,
so now you've never sat down and intentionally watched it.
Yeah, I've always seen it and loved the jokes. It's just never I'm gonna sit down and watch this from this end to the end.
It is a movie that you can kind of pop into and it's fine.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's what would you call this kind of movie where it starts at the beginning and it's kind of I would say an Odyssey. Mm-hmm. Where a person starts out and it's little sections.
No, I actually think an Odyssey is probably a good
warrior's warrior's journey. Uh-huh. There's conflict and there's his rise and fall.
Yeah.
But any kind of movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is based on the Odyssey.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Not anything else is coming to mind right now. But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Lord of the Rings is
is definitely an
Frodo's Odyssey.
But that's different because that's more linear. This is linear too, but it goes
You're talking
it's
about...
It's like, it's just the form. It's like, here's a scene, and then now I'm working at this place, and then here, you know what I mean?
Like, you technically don't need to run into all these situations, but you do.
Yeah, it's kind of movie that just is set up with like, okay, we have these bits, and you can see where the bits that this movie was built around.
Yeah.
And... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the spectacle, like the glasses thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and him getting shot and saying the cans are exploding. I bet that was the impulse for that joke. You know what I mean? Like, so how can we? It's Steve. This movie is bleed Steve Martin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's just like, I mean, I didn't look it up, but was he involved in the creative process, or was he literally just
No, this is the first thing he starred in. This is
like his defining role, too.
I mean, it definitely was like set the stage for him, I'd say. It. I guess he wrote it along with Carl Gottlieb and Michael Elias.
Okay, so
I was going to say,
involved.
that's what I mean. Like, it's so... No one else could have come from nobody.
Exactly,
him,
like this... what is it? Like, just... There's like parts of the movie that are just designed for him to use his like lankiness and goofiness.
Parts wouldn't be funny if he wasn't that
one of my
first
character. Notes was he's really good at physical comedy. He excels at it. In this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
When he's still living with his family on the farmhouse and he like can't find the beat.
Oh my god,
that gets me every single time.
But that's
so good.
He's one of those people that, like, I guess I just grew up with this movie specifically so much that, like, I realized, like, I like totally. But everyone does at this point because I'm not only copying Steve Martin, I'm copying people that have copied Steve Martin too.
Yeah.
But that kind of, like,
I call it the lanky humor.
Well, it's not just lanky, the lankiness. He plays, like, an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Naive.
Like, a dummy.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah.
That's really that shit like is
when he's like in bed and he's just like tapping his feet together and he looks at them like they're not his. He's like, oh, and then he looks at his fingers and he's snapping. He's like, oh,
such
and
a
then he gets up and
character.
he's just like, he's like a dude who just learned how to walk is dancing. It's the funniest thing.
It's
ever.
Like Frankenstein.
Honestly, this film. It's funny you mentioned cartoon character because this film almost is a cartoon. Like the way the comedy plays out to me.
It's all physical.
Yeah.
It's all gags.
Well, and like
visual gags.
His girlfriend Bernadette Peters' character. Like that she plays the like trumpet.
I love
like
that. Where does it come from?
It's
just you pulled it off screen. I love that shit. I said something about that one. I like rewound it and I was like, this is great. Like this is fucking genius.
Actually, that went over my head for some reason when you just mentioned that. She did just pull that out of nowhere.
It was like a little tiny fucking French horn or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah, but she probably actually can play it too because when she has her little solo, we should. Like summate this
and we should.
somehow?
Bernadette Peters is known for musicals and whatnot. Like
really?
I think she was a musical performer.
This is like the only thing I know her from.
Really?
Yeah,
I know the name, but she's like
I've seen her and stuff.
She was beautiful in this movie too.
Yeah,
I didn't I watched it and I was like, wow.
She's also like a cartoon character. She's like fucking Betty Boop.
No, she's
the
two
two
of them together.
Well, but her
like,
face, she's got a tiny she's a cartoon character just like him, and they're both like. He's tall, skinny. They're a great comedic duo.
Yeah. When they get like a tight close shot of Steve Martin's face, it's not like he's an ugly person. But when for some reason when you zoom up on his face, all you can see is like his nose and his like eyes, and it's just like that's a very cartoony.
He is. He's got
like I don't know. His facial expressions are very. They're just funny, like on their own, which is not common.
Yeah.
Like to just make a face or like smile and have me laugh. Not a lot of people can do that. Steve Martin can do that. Yeah. I fucking love him for that.
He was like the guy.
Yeah.
We should probably
like imagine this movie with anyone else. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
I got a follow-up question in a bit.
Okay.
For that.
Okay, so this movie starts with Steve Martin's character, Navin Johnson, and he plays a poor black kid on a farm.
Yes.
And that premise, I'm trying to find the exact fact, but I can't find it, came from a stand-up routine he had where he talked about how he used to be like a poor black kid.
That's awesome.
And they made the movie based just on that.
That's great.
Awesome.
So he leaves his family. It was a very like loving family the day they tell him he's not their like natural born son.
Yeah.
And he goes to the city to make a life for himself.
You mean I'm gonna stay this color?
And Navin, there's a bunch of things that happen. But at first he works at a gas station, and the gas station owner lets him work there. Mm-hmm. And then some crazy man, after he's so excited to be have his name listed in the telephone book,
tries to shoot him.
Randomly finds him in the telephone book. And that's my favorite scene is he hates these cans. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. And always has been. That one gets
That's
me.
probably the most iconic.
I was about to say, I think out of the whole movie, that's probably the most iconic scene. Like, a standalone scene. Like, him dressed up as the gas attendant and him being shot at.
I think it's also the cover of the movie, too, and, like, the poster.
Is it?
Well, no, it's him holding all
the stuff. Dude, you know what?
You're right. Yeah.
That's such a great poster. Isn't it an illustration, too? No, it's not, but, man... I've been trying to think about a few movie posters that I want to get and like hang up and frame.
That's a good one.
The fucking jerk. That's such a great image.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a great one.
That's
like in this,
I documented it now on the podcast for myself to remember later. Buy it on Amazon.
So he inadvertently helps this guy who's like a salesman invent glasses handle while he works at the gas station.
OptiGrab.
Although they don't know the name yet.
They don't know the name.
Spoiler.
Then he works at like a festival, like a fair. He sleeps with a...
circus, I think.
He sleeps with like a daredevil woman. Yeah. Discovers what his special purpose
can we talk about...
is.
He probably definitely got at least one STD.
Yeah.
From that wild woman?
Oh, yeah.
From that wild woman.
She burned all that shit off.
She burned it off. She has no genitalia.
You're right.
Or she burned off all of her warts.
I don't know.
Burned off
That's
her warts,
gross.
probably.
Yeah. The joke, it gets gross if you talk about it too much.
Yeah.
That's fine. I love that.
So, and then while he was dating this crazy woman, he meets the love of his life, whose name, I just saw it too. I was looking right at it. Patty? No. Sorry, my computer's loading. Marie. Yeah.
Marie? Is it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he also meets Shithead, the dog.
Shithead, yeah.
What was his original name?
It was just...
It was like a random dog, I think.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he named him something.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
And then the guy's like, you shouldn't name him you should name him Shithead.
Because he
started he told everyone it was a fire, and it wasn't a fire.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We don't really need to... Listen.
Yeah.
The guy's dumb, gets rich, falls in love, plays the fucking ukulele.
Then he loses everything
because
of...
cross-eyedness.
Yeah.
Because of cross-eyedness from Carl Reiner, the director
film,
of this movie.
He has been sending money back home to his family. Yeah. And they invested well, and they end up very wealthy. So even though he loses everything, he's okay because he's back with Marie and his family.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder how many versions of drafts it took for them to come up with that ending, because I wish it ended badly. Like if this movie were first of all, follow-up question.
It's an older comedy. I feel like comedies used to just be comedies. They had a good ending.
Well, I remember. I think it might have been an Every Frame a Painting. Or a video or something. They're talking about something, endings, and how, like, in a lot of movies, people, like, in the example was, like, 12 Angry Men? Like, it's, like, tense, and they're in the room and shit, but then everyone leaves, and they go, and the scene is literally them leaving. Or, like, the famous riding off into the sunset. Or, like, this movie, like, something bad happens, and that should be the end, but guess what? His family came... And they made it all okay, and now his love is here, and they're going home, and it's going to be fine, and then they dance on the porch.
Yeah.
That, like, people don't want to leave the theater with a bad note.
Yeah. Well, it depends what you're trying
sometimes
to
the story demands it.
But sometimes it panders, though, too.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, movies end, and I can't even think of an example right now.
North by Northwest.
I don't remember the end of that. Oh yeah, it just cuts to.
Oh yeah,
great.
Real
it just cuts to, and they're happy as fuck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the worst example.
Because Hitchcock was
I don't think that's bad. We talked about this before. I think it's jarring from your perspective, but was not as jarring.
But I wonder. At the
time, probably.
At the time, Alfred Hitchcock was probably like, "Guess what?" And it's just fucked at the end.
No, he probably was like, I don't want to spend time wrapping it up, but I want it to be happy. Because of his suspense films, North by Northwest is not as dark in tone.
No.
It's still suspenseful. And he
suspenseful.
wanted to make that movie. He wanted it to have a happy ending, and he didn't want the audience to sit through 3 minutes of like a wrap-up.
I just wonder, like, nowadays, you were asking earlier, Andrew, you said, if this movie were played by anybody else, it wouldn't, whatever. So... If this movie got remade, and when this movie gets remade, say it were to get remade today, who would play Nathan Johnson?
Hopefully Steve Martin, because he's still alive.
But not Steve
Martin. No one's as funny as him.
But
in that same way, maybe Jim Carrey, but it just wouldn't. It just it still wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. Too old,
and he's still.
We got to think of a young
Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham, actually, you're right. Maybe
his huge biggest influence.
You know what? You're right.
I just set that question up to have.
You're right.
To sound smart, you.
No, I just wanted to put it to you guys.
No, but I think
because I was thinking.
I don't know.
I was thinking it when we were watching the movie.
No, that's a good.
It clearly wouldn't be the same, but I think if you had to,
and then it ends badly. It just ends badly.
Yeah, because that's him.
Because that's him, and then I think, hey, listen to the Hair Club, pitching a movie.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect cast, but
he wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it. Yeah, because he staunchly doesn't believe in remakes
exactly,
or anything like that.
So I will say the weakest part of this movie, although I love it, I feel like the third act.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to say
a
that
bit every time. Like after they're
wealthy.
Where's
the third act? Oh, when it goes bad.
Yeah, it's
just
like
when they get
they're
the money.
wealthy in the mansion, and there's some goofy bits, and then it goes bad.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I was going to say that.
It's kind of just like, okay, we got here, and now,
because me seeing like everything iconic is in the first two acts, and the third act for me, having seen it now, I'm like. Oh, I guess I wasn't missing that much.
I'm trying to think.
I'm not trying to shit on the movie. It's just.
Oh, I love the
funniest parts
the what is it?
The what?
When the guy comes to give him
private detector
to try to get him to donate to their And what is the
juggling
cat
cats.
juggling?
Yeah, never mind. That
fucking cat juggling.
Well, and that's the other role Steve Martin plays.
Yeah, and I love that character. Yeah. He's just like with a cigarette.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. That's such a good character. I love when things like that, like in movies where it's like.
That's clearly
and now this guy is clearly the
actor.
It's
clearly him.
That he had the idea to be this creepy cat juggler in the commercial.
Well, you know, hey, you can juggle. Hey, I can juggle. Let me do a juggling bit. You know, that's literally. Hey, I can work with what you know.
Yeah.
And if you have a skill, how can I work it into the movie?
Yeah.
You know, that's literally 100% what it was. Yep. And what's the most ridiculous thing you can have you juggle?
Kittens.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's good that he did that. Like, it's funny because all of a sudden at the very end, he's just, breaking this reality, and he's clearly on the TV and watching himself on the TV.
Well, it already starts with him breaking the fourth wall. The opening scene is him talking to the camera.
Yeah, but that's different than breaking like a reality in what you're building.
Well, it's cartoon logic. This movie is a cartoon, you're saying. Like it opened just like
Clerks
a Bugs Bunny.
Is another really good example of that.
Clerks?
Yeah, if you watch a lot of his movies, they're very cartoony the way things play
sure.
out. Yeah.
For sure. Well, a different kind of cartoon.
Well, yeah.
More comic book is probably really the more.
Yeah,
but that is his influence too.
Yeah.
And Steve Martin was probably I would be willing to bet there's an interview with Steve Martin saying he was influenced by. Well, I guess that wouldn't necessarily.
It'd be the same time-ish.
Yeah.
Were you about to say
Fuck
Looney
me.
Tunes?
I don't know shit. He was gonna say like Buster Keaton and shit like that.
Oh, then yes. Yeah. Of course that's definitely
I was trying to build my argument and it's.
Yeah.
House of Cards.
Fell apart.
House of Cards.
Well,
that's a great show.
Let's talk about that during the break. House of Cards. Beautiful. Back to the Hair Club.
Boss.
Hey, if we haven't mentioned it before, please write a review, subscribe to us on iTunes, tell your friends about the three guys that you like to watch movies with.
Tell us you love us, you really love us. 5 stars on iTunes.
You're about to say Amazon. We could actually rate us on Amazon too.
If you find us on there, let us know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find us on Amazon.
It's probably some legal activity.
On iTunes. Okay.
Actually, we should probably look into something that protects us legally.
What do you mean?
From what?
Like if someone else decides to distribute what we're making.
No, we are copyrighted under.
We are copyrighted?
Hair Club for movies.
Hair
How about
Club
that?
for Movies, LLC.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Don't worry, we're good.
That's right. All we need to do is just mail our episodes of the podcast to ourselves, and then you got them copyrighted.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Then you mail a second copy to the Library of Congress. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did that when I was a kid. I had a drawing character that I wanted to copyright, so I mailed it to myself. Like, that doesn't. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So I wanted to mention about The Jerk.
The Jerk.
It was
The
directed by legendary comic director and actor Carl Reiner. Whose 95th birthday is March 20th. So
Well,
coming up soon. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carl Reiner. Any relation to Rob?
Yeah, he's his dad.
Literally his dad.
Happy birthday.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
It's true.
Yeah.
You lie too much for me to believe you.
Rob
Like that.
Rob Reiner's in this movie. He's got a bit part too. He's like I forget what he does, but
Oh my god.
Taxi driver.
yeah, that's right.
He's the tech. Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Carl
Maybe
Reiner.
I just don't recognize Rob Reiner by.
Rob Reiner
sight.
directed fucking This Is Spinal Tap.
No, he directed a shitload of stuff.
I know, but that's why you would know his face, because he's in it.
I didn't.
Princess
see Spinal
Bride.
Tap.
What?
I didn't see Spinal Tap.
You're fucking high out of
Really?
your mind.
What?
Why would you have ever expected me to see Spinal Tap?
Comedy classic? I don't know. You appreciate comedy?
I haven't seen a lot of old movies.
You
A lot of old movies. Do you know why, Drew?
mother.
Do you know why?
Because you were born in a cult.
No, because I was born. I was born in '91, and anything before that would have to have taken.
I was born 3 years before you, and I'm so much more versed somehow.
Yeah,
I guess.
You are.
I mean, I am.
take credit.
I mean, I am.
Hoity-toity.
I mean, I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I think you should be more thankful.
I
for
am the pop culture master.
for the adults in your childhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, as I am.
I am.
That's
Yeah.
part of the reason I know about these things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Useful information. I wouldn't have been able to have this podcast.
It takes effort for
that.
me to watch movies because I didn't grow up with a library.
What a shame.
I grew up with.
Well, I'm
a
pretty
few
sure I
kids.
let you Dances with Wolves on DVD like 2 years ago, and you still haven't watched
2
it.
years ago, no.
It was over a year ago.
No, it wasn't.
You
Yeah,
guys
it was.
both have books that you from me that
I know.
you never fucking read.
I always look at it like I should read
It was
it.
over a year ago?
It was probably about a year.
No.
Anyways, why would you argue about this?
Yeah.
It's the most boring thing.
Anyway, Carl fucking Reiner.
I didn't bring it up! I didn't fucking bring it up!
So happy birthday, Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
The
Make a
jerk.
wish.
What do you guys think? What do you guys?
What was
rate
your?
it?
Did we cover our favorite parts?
Mine was the cans.
Cans.
Yeah.
Mine's racy, but I mean.
Ooh, racy. It was in the movie, so it's fine.
National Women's Day. I feel like I can't mention it.
You can say it. Don't be like that. It was in
Okay,
the
what was
fucking
the
movie.
what was the hot rod like motorcycle girl
What's her name?
or like in
Brenda
the movie?
or something like that?
What was her name?
Whatever.
Whatever. That
Hot rod
person who
motorcycle
rode
girl.
through like the fire and shit.
Yeah.
She called I forget all the names now. Damn it.
Naven.
No, not Naven. Naven's like when they were on a date and they were eating like the pizza in
Marie.
a cup. Marie. She called Marie a gash.
Oh yeah, that's
Never
great.
fucking heard that.
Oh
term.
yeah,
Like a
I
hatchet
forgot
wound.
about that. Yeah,
Like,
that's
holy
horrible.
fuck.
This
Yeah.
fucking gash.
Probably the most insult. That's way worse than cunt. That's the most insulting.
It's creative too.
It's
Yeah.
creative as
Yeah.
fuck.
I don't think it's worse than cunt.
No.
Because cunt has implications.
I
Gash
guess.
is just kind of descriptive.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And she was like, "Get this gash out of my
Yeah.
sight." I was like,
Damn.
"Holy
That
shit."
is a harsh. You don't hear that.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like a harsh term. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, because no one uses it anymore. I think if you say it, you're gonna get fucking jumped.
yeah, horrible.
by everyone.
Yeah,
I
don't
know.
say
Like,
that.
don't
say that. I just thought that like out of every line of the movie, that was like the most like holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, she was supposed
Well,
to be.
what was your favorite part?
That was your
Favorite part? No, that's not my favorite.
I asked you-
That was my.
I
favorite
asked you your
part.
favorite part, and then
Sorry.
you said, "Well, this is racy," but
I just
when she
wanted
said
to
gash.
mention it. I shouldn't have. It's not my favorite part.
My
It's not
favorite
my
word?
favorite part.
Gash.
No, it's honestly my favorite part was right at the beginning when he's like trying to dance and like he wakes. He's like Grandma, and he's like.
It's actually probably challenging for. I mean, he's obviously a musical and has a lot of rhythm and can actually dance.
Yeah.
But it requires rhythm.
Yeah.
In order to appear to not have rhythm.
Probably took a lot of practice.
And to like dance as goofily as he does, you have to.
It's a skill.
It's a skill.
Yeah. And there's another part when he's dancing, in his own house when it's disco.
Yeah.
He's like doing really awesome shit.
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah, I love them.
Well, that was this was still in the era of like comedy was kind of looked down on. I feel like so your comedy had to be if you gave an element of like kind of like the cabaret. You know, like these guys are this dude. Steve Martin is like a true old school performer. He can dance. He can sing. Yeah. He's a comedian. Yeah. You know, like that. You have to be the whole
Bernadette
package.
Peters.
Exactly.
Same way. It's like you were multi-talented. Yeah. Everybody.
It was like the era of variety shows, and I think that's
like a Jerry Lewis kind of thing where you need to.
Jerry Lewis probably wasn't like he couldn't dance really. Oh, I mean, I guess he could.
No, you did not.
He's just not the person I would think of.
I see.
You know, I'm thinking like you're.
When I think of someone who can do it all and do it live too, I think of Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
You know,
I just think of him more as
dancing, actual funny, and just making goofy faces and like just being
physical
wild.
comedy. Yeah, sure. But anyway, my point being like, this was the time where that was just like, you had to bring that because comedy is bullshit.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know?
There was not as respected.
Yeah.
Well, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part is when I only say this because I would laugh so hard at this part when we watch. I mean, that's whatever.
Yeah.
But he's talking to Marie when she's asleep and saying, the first day felt like a week. Felt like 5 days. The third day felt like, and whatever, and he's, I love it because he keeps going. You know, like, it's like a 3-minute thing.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah. I love whenever, like, because they were like, well, let's cut some of this. And it's like, no, the joke is that he goes on forever.
Keeps going,
and that theme repeats when he's like, and I don't need anything, but I need this ashtray.
Yeah.
You know, and like keeps going and going. Those bits are my favorite, but specifically the one where he's counting the days.
It reminds me of like you ever talk to a little kid, like a 5-year-old kid that's just like rambling.
Yeah.
You ever talk to me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You ever talk to
like
me?
Like
talking to me
over and over. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. There's that other part when he's having the pizza in a cup date with Marie.
Yeah.
And he's like, he asks her if she's got a boyfriend or something or a husband or something, and she's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, well.
She says kind of.
Kind of? Okay. And he's like, well, the next time you make love to him, can you think of me? And she's like, maybe we could all do it, and then we think
or maybe
you
two can have love, and then you can think of me.
Yeah. He's like, I just like to be in there somewhere. Yeah. There's one of my favorite lines.
Another bit.
God damn it.
This is really good pizza in a cup.
People
drive from all around to get this pizza in a cup.
God damn it. That was great. It was great movie. Anyway, ratings.
So I want to rate it a Drew.
Yeah, I rated it last time. Capital DREW.
Yeah.
That's your. If you can get 100%, this would be my first all caps Drew.
All caps
Drew. So there's
Drew,
a new song.
Wow.
All caps Drew. That means it's the best.
I do it a crayon held firmly, drawn out, scribbled Drew.
Like all lowercase.
Well, like some are uppercase,
backwards.
like the R's uppercase for some reason.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's how.
Some are backwards.
Yeah. Nice.
That's exactly the Drew I give it.
Nice.
Because there's like a scene when he's drawing out or writing the letter, and it's like really bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like a shot of it, but you can just kind of see it. He's like scribbling it like a kid.
Well, I give it a Drew with a speech impediment, a Drew.
Or as my this kid that I went to like elementary or kindergarten, I remember he called me, hey Jew. You get it? A Jew. Not Jew, but like a Jew.
Jew.
He had a speech impediment.
Oh my god.
He's doing great now. I don't think he does anymore.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right.
Jews all around. Jews all around. 3D.
All right.
So Andrew has a quiz, I think.
Yeah, it's time for the All right. Anyway, I was gonna pick.
I don't like that he does that.
I was gonna pick. I'm sorry.
Fucking
you guys
with
do
the levels,
things I don't
dog.
like. You guys
It's
do
loud.
With
It's
the levels,
loud.
dog.
Okay, quiz.
Yeah, I was gonna pick one that you guys were gonna like, but this one you're gonna like.
Oh,
You'll like
okay.
it. All right.
All right. If I don't,
Someone might get this right off the bat.
Okay.
Depending on who knows this. Directed by Brad Bird.
The Iron Giant.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it, and
What?
I'm glad.
You've never seen this movie?
It's great, though.
I
You're
mean,
glad you get to
I've
watch
probably started it, and
yeah.
I don't know why I haven't seen it.
Cry like
Damn.
a baby every time.
Dude.
Nice.
Crap.
They
It's
released
my-
it in theaters.
This movie comes with a tissue box. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, it's like dirty. Oh, different tissue.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the Iron Giant. What else is giant?
Oh my god.
Is Iron
I wasn't gonna do that the first clue, but I just figured. You know what? Maybe both of them don't know the director, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't
definitely.
know. Cool.
it's a good movie.
It's one of those.
I'm glad
on my
actually that
list.
you haven't seen it. I did not expect you to not see it.
It's still cell animated, right? I think there's some
Yeah.
computer stuff in
One
it.
of the
Yeah.
one of the best classically animated
Yeah.
movies. It came out in '99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
Like I know its place. It's like Akira. Like why the
Yeah.
fuck? It's funny. I have like a hesitance of watching animation, but I'm so like deep in it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't want to
Yeah.
watch it.
Really?
I don't like watching cartoons a lot of the time anymore.
I
I
like
mean, I'm
watching
sitting
ones that
here
are worth my
staring
time.
at your Dragon Ball Z box
I mean,
set.
yeah. I mean, but I watch stuff like that. Not like I'm watching it to be entertained. I'm like kind of like studying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see.
More because it's still because I
This
can't
one's gonna blow your
put
mind.
it on without, and especially because of the podcast. Like
Yeah.
movies aren't necessarily. I mean, their experience is still like when I go to the theater, but it's I can't get around. Which I think it's good in the long run for
How they're making
for
it.
creative outlets or whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's always been like, how do they do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't
in
turn
anything.
off
I
that
can't
like
turn it off.
Yeah.
critical eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way. I look at movies and think of like if like a big budget movie all of a sudden is like actually good, I'm like, holy shit, this is more impressive somehow
Well,
to me.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll be
like-
watching fucking House, and I'm like, okay, you see how the frame rate is obviously different in this scene. They obviously used a shot that was supposed to be not in
Something
it, and
else.
then they put it in last minute, and now it doesn't make any sense. The lighting's all fucked.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. That like.
yeah.
And Becca's like, can you fucking stop pausing the show?
Oh, you pause it?
I would've
I'll pause
watched it.
because because she'll be like, if you're gonna talk, pause the fucking show.
Oh, and then.
But then I pause
do
every
it.
5 seconds because
I see.
I can't fucking shut it up. And it's like hard. I'm like, as you guys know, like I can't just like not say it.
Yeah.
It's gotta fucking. It's gonna
Yeah.
blow my head up.
You
if
gotta
I
start
don't.
taking notes, and then
I
at the end you
did.
just have a little conversation. You talk.
She doesn't
about
want to hear that shit.
I
That's
know.
why we do this. And then she listens to the podcast in an ingestible, digestible way, as opposed to being bombarded with words.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of big budget films, you
Nice.
said you got to go.
Let's look at that segue. Can we replay that segue real quick?
Okay.
So when big budget movies can do it well, it's like no, I'm just kidding. Start the entire thing over.
Yeah, I saw Logan.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anybody needs to like give props to Logan at this point. I think pretty much people
Pretty
are
well received.
pretty well received.
Yeah.
And
It
it's,
is? I haven't heard anything
Oh
about
my
it.
god, dude! Like
Really?
the Fox. You've seen some of the Fox X-Men movies. Have you seen the original X-Men movies?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen all the X-Men.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I own X-Men 2: The Last Stand, which is like the
No, that's
weirdest,
X3.
I like
the
X3
weirdest
last
one
time.
to like have on DVD.
I think
that
the
is a
first
gift.
3 are like this original Spider-Man, except the third one.
First 2 are awesome.
I think
Yeah.
they're all. I think they're fine movies, especially for the time.
Yeah.
Like we look at back now, like oh they're trash, but at the time we were like this is tight. Don't
Oh, yeah.
act
You
like we
kidding me?
weren't.
Yeah.
I hate when people are now that are of age to have been 12 years old or whatever when they came out. And
Yeah.
they're like it's awesome, and then now jaded 28-year-old them is like nah, fucking those movies suck.
No, they're
No,
so
dude.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't. You're judging a fucking superhero movie.
Blockbuster that did its job.
It's like saying Con Air. Like, you know what the problem with Con Air is? Nobody wants to hear it.
I think
suddenly these superhero movies are
most film snobs are snobs in anything, but when it comes to films, they judge everything based on the same metric.
Yeah.
And it's the worst way. You'll never enjoy anything that way. I think you gotta
if you have.
But anyway,
I
think those people are everyone is like, this is the best. Mm-hmm. It's I would say
I might go see it then because
you should absolutely go see it.
Okay, yeah.
You should absolutely go see it. Go see it at Gateway Film Center.
The only reason I
support local cinema.
Honestly, the only reason I didn't was because the last X-Men that came out, X-Men Apocalypse, was the worst X-Men.
I actually tried to watch that one. It's on HBO now.
It's terrible.
And I turned it off.
It's terrible.
Those movies are I liked First Class the first time I saw it, and then rewatching
First
it,
Class,
it's not that good.
And Days of Future Past were great.
Days of Future Past
not
pretty
cool. Not amazing, but they're great. They were good.
I want to watch the Rogue cut with Rogue in it.
Yeah,
but
there's a Rogue cut.
Apocalypse was
Rogue
just
because there's a whole Rogue storyline that was cut out of Days of Future Past.
Yeah. I had heard that the comic was centered around
her.
Was it Rogue?
She goes
instead of because Wolverine. She's like the reason they can even
she's
go
the reason.
Past.
And in this, it's like, well, we don't want to have a movie that's completely Rogue because why would we have a woman be the lead?
Yeah, we need to have
the first
people like Wolverine. Everybody
loves
Wolverine.
X-Men ever made with the first one with Hugh Jackman. That one was about Rogue.
Is Hugh Jackman
the
only one that's
that one's about Jean Grey. Oh, Rogue, because he goes and picks her up.
Yeah,
right.
It's those two for a long time.
That's right.
And now
I gotta go back and watch those.
Hugh Jackman the only actor that's been in
all of them?
He's not only all of them, but he is the actor, I think this is still true, that has played a character for the longest.
Yeah.
The most amount of time.
Yeah.
Except for Fraser Crane, Kelsey Grammer.
No, but in film.
I think he's talking about a specific character.
Like
a Luke Skywalker
like your James Bond.
Or James Bond,
in the most amount of movies.
Yeah. Because he's done like 3 separate
spin-offs. That makes sense.
Yep.
I think
but anyway...
he did The Wolverine.
I don't know. Do you know anything about this movie, Andrew?
No, I don't. Don't tell me.
Then I won't. That's what I'm saying. Even better. I went in cold. Lukewarm.
I saw the trailers, but...
You saw the trailers.
The trailers did a good job of just, having a tone, but not showing much.
I went in lukewarm. Like, I hadn't seen a trailer. I didn't even know it was coming out. I thought it was coming out, like, next year or something. Because I'll read, like, news. Like, I have, like, the news app on iPhone, and you can, like... I have, like, all the movie stuff, like... Hollywood Reporter, who's making deals, that shit. So I knew, but what I was reading, it seemed like it was coming out in a long time. And then they'll put a trailer out and be like, guess what, it's coming out next month now. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
So I was completely like, fuck, I didn't know this was coming out. Mm-hmm. So we gotta go day before it opens. Mm-hmm. And fuck balls.
By the way,
fuck balls.
All right, baby. Keep all
Is this the first podcast we've done since the Oscars happened?
I think so.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, I don't care
that
much.
You don't care? I care, but I guess I'm the only one that cares about the Oscars.
I don't know if it's just like too timely.
It's
I think the Oscars and the fucking Grammys and all those shit's just pandering, masturbatory. We're all look at how great we are, and the actual shit that was actually good this year doesn't even get acknowledged.
It doesn't get acknowledged
because they didn't pay to fucking get in.
Well, you know what? The biggest disappointment for me was not having Cuba win Best Animation. Fucking Disney always wins.
Wait, what won it? Whatever.
Cuba and the 2 Strings. It was what was it? Zootopia won.
Well,
that piece of artwork.
I gotta say, Zootopia is really good, but Kubo and the 2 Strings is better.
But it's like,
Zootopia is it's too much of a kids movie, and I know it has a commentary.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
What about that fucking Anomalisa movie?
Wait, have you seen Zootopia?
I haven't seen it all the way through, but
I don't think you've seen it at all. Anomalisa is amazing, but I think that was last year.
Oh, was it?
Anomalisa, I want to talk about it a little bit.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
So, you guys know I'm obsessed with podcasts and radio plays, stuff like that. Anomalisa was written by Charlie Kaufman as a radio play.
Oh, you have
for only 2 actors to play every role.
Wow.
And then they made a stop-motion animated film with only 2 actors playing every role.
I haven't seen it.
It is so good.
But have you seen any of what it looks like?
It's incredible.
It looks weird.
They do this stop motion, and they don't correct anything with computer graphics. Like Kubo and the Leica company, they do a lot of... They use a green screen when necessary. Yeah. But Anomalisa, it's just pure stop motion. It's amazing.
And like they show his joints. It's like obvious he's a puppet.
Like his mouth, like the jaw lines and stuff.
It's like that's.
So have you seen it?
I know. I've listened to Charlie Kaufman. Might have been when he was on WTF podcast, and I've seen the trailer.
That's actually why I watched it, because of the WTF. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Mark Maron.
Thanks, Mark Maron. There are so many countless things that I get turned on to because of WTF.
Yeah.
Like this new dude, Kamasi Washington, he's a jazz artist, saxophone player. He played on Kendrick Lamar's last album. He interviewed
That's awesome.
And I hadn't heard of him.
And it's like someone whose name you're not going to hear otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Podcast, baby.
So Anomalisa. Great.
Anyways, so there are Grammys, Oscars, all of it's trash. Nobody cares.
Kubo and the Two Strings, great.
The mishap,
Zootopia, not as great, but pretty good.
The mishap with the best award, whatever the fuck, I feel like that was completely planned and like.
I'll turn off an animated movie if it's too like I don't know, cutesy or like tweet. I think it's pandering when like animated animals in general are just like you're just shooting.
I don't know why I have to be the one to defend this movie, but
you're defending Zootopia. I think that's hilarious.
So the reason they're animals is actually rooted in like the message of the film.
I know.
They're trying to.
It's like a metaphor for immigrants or something.
Or discrimination.
No, I get it. I get that like she's the bunny cop, and that's like it's not it's out of her like depth because she's like. She's not as an animal suited for that job or whatever. And
it's like predators versus prey.
Yes, I get. I get the commentary, but it's I don't know. Maybe I'm too.
My
picky.
problem with animation nowadays is because it's all become so homogenized.
Mm-hmm.
DreamWorks and Pixar, it all looks the fucking It's all this great like super rendered. I'm a fan of art personally.
Yeah, it's almost too perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I think the
reason I fell in love with animation and what I still look at old animation, cell animation, you see the flaws in it, and that's any kind of art, paintings, whatever. That's what I look at, and like you can see the flaws in it.
I think that's why I was about to say. I think that's why I liked Cubo way better because they perfected.
Well, you still haven't.
Was that was stop motion?
What?
That was the stop motion.
It was. It's all stop motion except for green screens.
Same people that did Paranorman.
That's about it. Yeah. Paranorman.
That movie was fucking insane.
Yeah,
I know.
The lighting and shit, that's like in camera.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I almost picked Paranorman for Halloween.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Coraline was kind of
I think it's great. I love it. I think they're
fine.
They did Frankenweenie too, right?
Oh, man. The short of fucking Frankenweenie, the original back in the day, Tim Burton, when I
used to get
freshman
that
high
from
school
the
and Tim Burton
public library and watch it all the time.
I had it on a VHS. My mom had these VHSs, like a huge like case, like a giant, those magnetic VHS things. You click it and it locks, and you click it again and it opens. The magnets.
Yeah. The glass door.
I had one of those things. I had a glass door one and a wooden one.
Yeah.
They both make that clicking noise?
Okay. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
No, I just wanted to hear you.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was filled with VHSs, like Disney, but a lot of them were like just taped off a TV. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
And like 3 movies in a row, like Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands and
we had a What About Bob
we
had a What About Bob and a Groundhog's Day tape.
Nice.
Both on the same one. It was great.
But it's like, where did you find that Frankenweenie thing? Because it's not, he didn't release it on anything until later when the DVDs were out. And I like had it as a kid.
Yeah.
Like this.
That's awesome.
Like, how did you get this?
I don't know. I feel like they used to like
maybe played it on HBO or something.
And when there were less channels, like there used to be the Wonderful World of Disney on ABC.
Yeah, Sunday nights.
I don't even remember because I think that was even before my time. It was.
They still did that when we were kids.
Okay.
For sure.
I feel like films were more like they were showcased. It was like you got to see something for the first time. It'd be a huge draw for the network.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like. That's why I hate to constantly be talking about this because I find myself like preaching the gospel of not watching trailers and like the gospel of like the church of theaters.
Yeah.
Because like there's truly like nothing. There isn't a. We go into a theater and the lights go down. And it's like. I know, but it's really like a fucking holy experience, especially now that I'm trying to be like movies that I know I'm gonna love, like superhero movies and shit that like built in, like it's gonna be tight. Then I don't know shit.
You get to sit in, you just know,
and you get to be blown away. The whole
you just
time.
know you're in for like a great experience.
Yeah. You know, I just watched
the
movie.
Nothing. I don't know. It goes back to that feeling of like holiness and like you're about to see something you don't even know what it is necessarily, and but you might blow your mind.
And if you're lucky enough, you'd never seen anything like it before. Like
flipping through cable on HBO late at night back in the day. Like that's how I found so many cool movies that I would love. You know, like you don't have that anymore. You have it, but it just isn't the same.
It's because we're older and we just
searching through Blockbuster fucking shit and finding like I know that actor but never seen this movie.
And you're just picking random ones.
I remember.
Well, now I gotta say back about trailers. I watched. They released another trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and there was a horrible spoiler at the very end. And it's just like, why? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I know exactly.
And I remember thinking, okay, it's probably not that big a part of the movie. But even if it happens in the first act, it's like an exciting thing that the audience could have experienced.
Or a joke that you're not going to laugh at now. Because you've already seen it in the trailer.
Exactly.
I hate that. I hate when I go to a movie and there's a joke, everyone else laughs. I'm like, I knew that. I know that. Yeah. I know the punchline already. Like,
even some of my favorite movies, like Hunt for the Wilder People. Have you guys seen that yet?
Not yet.
No, there's like one of the children of like family and services agents is this really funny woman character, and I don't remember her name or anything. And she has a really funny bit in the film that they showed in the trailer, and after seeing it in the film so many times, it's like not funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to our friend about that, about trailers, and I don't remember what trailer she was talking about. But, it was Logan. I think I was talking about Logan. And she was like, just tell me everything. Like, I love spoilers, because I know this is happening, so I can pay attention to other stuff. It's like seeing the movie when you see a movie the second time, you already know this is going to happen, so you can watch it. Yeah. And I was like, that's an interesting argument that's pro-trailer.
It could be, but as long as it's the right stuff and not
But I feel like you're talking about something else. You're going to a movie to try to take in information. Yeah. I'm going to be dazzled. Yeah. You know?
No, I'm going for both.
But I'm saying it's two different concept. Like, I go to a movie because I like to be like taken to a world, you know? Yeah, and some people go and watch it. There is both too, but other people go and like, I want to know what happened so I can criticize what it was, or
it's much easier to analyze on more than one viewing. Absolutely. Yeah. So but you're like skipping that first one with.
Yeah. You mean like the second one where they're just going to get it in?
No, like she was saying she likes trailers and spoilers because she doesn't have to even have the first watch. Just skip straight to the second watching, basically. Yeah. You have this information and now you can like... I'm against that, but if it makes you happy, great.
Fuck it, yeah.
So, but I've never heard that angle.
Me neither.
Makes sense to
everybody's
me.
different.
But like, fucking
no, I'm just saying, your worship of the theater.
I understand that.
I've... Like, the first movie I went to go see by myself was some random afternoon. I rode my bike to go see Guardians of the Galaxy because I was just excited about it.
By yourself?
I didn't want to wait for anybody else to be able to, like, go
That was
with
the
me.
first time you seen a movie by yourself?
Yeah.
Wait.
Amazing.
Yeah, interesting.
Guardians of the Galaxy that came out like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That's the first time you saw a movie by yourself?
Yeah, I always just got people to go with me.
You know, I don't think I've ever gone to a movie by myself.
Yeah, you've never gone...
No, I've gone by myself, yeah. But
I don't think I am.
This is an interesting question, actually. When was the first movie I saw by myself?
Nothing.
It might have been, actually, very recently. Never mind. I just didn't take note of it.
No, it was just something I was excited about. I knew that Brooke was less excited, my girlfriend. Yeah. And she wouldn't really care if I would go by myself, so I just went.
Great experience. Don't lie, though. It's a great experience seeing it by yourself, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I honestly, it was like right after breakfast for me, so I actually bought a coffee from the movie theater, and I snuck a granola bar and a banana.
Fuck yeah.
So I sat there.
Coffee that's risky. That is risky.
It was not
for
great.
Me.
The coffee was not great.
I just mean it might make me shit myself.
Yeah, because you don't want to leave.
No, I think I had already gotten the coffee poop out. Okay. So I was safe to sit down.
Yeah, I'm not. If I had a coffee within an hour, that's movie, nah. Because I'm not about to.
That sounds like a great experience, though. Yeah. Like you just gotta settle in. Yeah. Was it a packed theater?
No, it was like middle of the day, so it was it was great.
I love matinees. Matinees, you don't have to worry about... Yeah. Because most people going to a matinee give a shit about the movie. Because people going at night are doing it because their friends are out.
It's something to do.
And they might be disruptive viewers.
I agree.
Yeah. During the day, people want to see that movie.
Have we told the story about when we went to go see Deadpool together on the podcast?
One of the worst.
The family that came in halfway through with like kids.
That sucks too for Deadpool.
It was the weirdest
Still didn't ruin it.
I felt like
so good.
Yeah, and it's not like a.
It forced me to feel like an adult, if that makes sense. Because I was like, you can't bring kids into this movie.
Yeah,
especially not halfway through.
Not halfway.
Like you're gonna have to be like.
And they're like running around. I'm like, you can't do this. You can't do this. What kind of people are you?
I've never really considered. I didn't even do it, but I've never considered going out of the theater and telling management. Like. On people.
No,
they should have a cutoff. Like, you can't come into this movie. It's already started, bitch.
Yeah, like they can't lock the doors for fire hazard reasons, probably.
No, but traditionally in smaller theaters, if it's a one-screen theater, it's way easier to control it and say 10 minutes have passed, you can't go in anymore.
And that used to be why you kept your stub.
Yeah, I still
do, just out of habit. But
I never go to fucking anything other than we go to Gateway pretty much exclusively now. Yeah. Because it's small, it's fucking rad, because we have that, since we work at Gerald Sandwiches, we get the little discount, so I get half-price movies anytime.
Yeah.
So we walk out of there spending $12 including parking. It's rad.
Yeah. Gateways.
No, I go to...
And they're support local
Grandview and Studio 35 when they play the movies.
There too. Yeah. Fucking, and that's so much radder. That place is so fucking cool. Mm-hmm. It's got a bar in there. Mm-hmm. It's not fucking by
the one that's near your house is fucking awesome.
Although I did get I had like 3 beers before I saw Fantastic Beasts, and I had to pee way too many times during the film.
That was we experienced that with Rogue One.
I forgot about seeing that one. That was great.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun,
I ruined my first viewing of Rogue One because I was drinking during it, and I went.
I still haven't seen that. Shit.
Oh
it's
my
about
god!
To be on DVD soon, probably.
Yeah, dude, it's my favorite Star Wars. I can officially. Say
I know. I think it's strange how there's so many people that were so adamantly against it. To me, I don't understand
because it's like a tangential expanding
and
universe.
It's different than other Star Wars. It's more. It's like an action film set in Star Wars universe.
I can't wait for the Han Solo just because fucking Donald Glover.
I heard there's gonna be a Lord Vader one now too, which after Rogue One has me so hyped.
Yeah, that would be cool. But
cannot wait. Because during Rogue One, I'm not spoiling anything. You do see Lord Vader. It's not a spoiler because
it's in the trailer. I think maybe.
I never felt more excited actually when I finally realized, oh wait, I'm about to see Lord Vader on the big screen. I've never done that before.
Oh really? Oh, I guess yeah.
And it was I know how limited this is going to be too, because he's not going to be.
They use Did they still use what's his
James Earl Jones?
Yeah.
Nice.
It doesn't feel like
was it
this
CGI
is a new
or
person.
they could have anybody playing it.
I feel like just Lord Vader. It was just Lord Vader. But they still had James Earl Jones in.
But it wasn't like some CG bullshit.
Yeah. No.
Because I was saying that. I was saying that anyebody can wear the fucking suit.
Yeah, anyone can wear that fucking suit. That's what they did in the first one. They just had a tall white dude wear the suit and forget his name.
Yeah, I was
something.
It's so funny that Darth Vader and whatever, just something I thought of. He's a big, black, ominous character voiced by a black man, but is actually a pale, old white dude.
Yeah. But it's
that's just an interesting metaphor for society, probably. I don't know.
I don't know what does that say? What do you mean?
I don't know. The black man is still controlled by the white man.
David Prowse.
You could use that.
David Prowse, everyone.
David Krause?
Prowse.
He's got the harmonica.
Prowse.
He's got the harmonica mouthpiece thing.
That's actually how they found him. He was good at the
playing the harmonica
mouthpiece.
You know what I'm talking about when they take it off.
I've seen that. I've seen that meme.
There is it. Yeah,
where he's literally just playing
the
harmonica.
Bob Dylan neck harmonica.
They the way they cut it was awesome. Because there's a moment where he leans back when he does a really big draw.
Oh,
it was awesome.
Meme talk, everybody.
Memes, am I right?
Anyway, we should stop now before I talk about Star Wars for 2 hours.
Yeah, so next week we'll be back, or 2 weeks. 2 weeks we'll be back with it.
Let's do it next week.
Let's make it a week.
The only reason I push it back is because I have manic attacks and I can't.
We've recorded 3 times.
Okay.
We'll do it next week, baby.
Once a month.
We're doing it next week.
Yeah, baby.
Look out.
This is easy watch. Very short movie too. Like 94 minutes or something.
Wait, what's the movie? Iron Giant.
Oh yeah.
It's the Hair Club for movies.
There's some trivia about it that I'm gonna save too.
That's okay.
Save
just in the last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because I had the urge.
It's on Netflix too.
Oh, nice.
Bonus.
Hey everyone, it's on Netflix. Netflix.
Netflix. Ooh, nice end there. That was a good end.
Yeah, it would be nicer if someone wasn't talking.
Hey, always step on my ends.
We always have to. I mean, when
can't have
when have we not?
So we can't have nice
ends.
things. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, hair club.